Hey guys, how's it going? So, another week, another mobile suit, and yes, it's been a couple of weeks, a little bit late here, been busy, but here we go. The Ewac Jegan is the new suit this week, but before we go to that, let's talk about last week's suit because it's a support. I'm a support main. I can't not talk about a support, especially one that I was really hoping to get. There's a really cool grenade, kind of like the Dagdaw, like AoE dot kind of thing going on. For its grenade launcher. Other than that, it's very heavy armed with how many missiles it has. It has a ton of weapons, literally taking up every 8 quick slots if you put them all on there. So, we'll go and watch a little video here to show off the suit. And yeah, overall, it's got a solid amount of support weapons. There's just one thing that's kind of weird, and they kind of seem to want to promote the powered GM3 powered thing where it can melee and then tackle immediately after. And it does have that kind of double twin shield saber thing going on, like the Type B does. I'm not convinced that the melee thing is actually something you want to do. It seems very gimmicky. But as far as a support with a lot of weapons that does good damage, I think we definitely have something that's pretty nice here. A couple of the weapons, though, I think could be tweaked to either give them some stun or even more damage. Just to make them useful when you have so many weapons. It, kind of is one of those things. I feel sometimes they get it wrong a little bit and don't actually give it what it needs. But maybe some switching times might be in order here. I don't know. But other than that, though, it does feel very solid. Will it have the staying power, since we have some pretty cool and good options for supports at 550 right now? That'll be seen. Sadly, I didn't get it, so I didn't get really to practice with it, so I can't talk first-hand experience. But from other people that I know that like shooty suits, they definitely are a fan of it. Again, it's skill gimmick where it has the tackle. It's a little odd, so they gave it that, and they didn't really give it any extra defensive options or any stun prevention because this thing is thick. It definitely is pretty bulky, and yeah, I mean, it's got the buffers. But when you're going up against a Rig-A-Z that can just go through that buffer and one-shot you, having those buffers really doesn't do anything. Now, yes, the buffers do help against generals and whatnot, but I mean, that's a lot of supports at that cost. Don't really fear generals exploding them too much unless you're just playing something that literally has 0 melee defense. Overall, though, really cool suit. I think we're going to see some tweaks coming in the future, possibly. Because I haven't really seen them too much now that we've got a switch to the new suit. But again, kind of weird that they just threw that gimmick on there. Hopefully they'll add something, or maybe give it double tackle would be cool. But if they're wanting you to tackle a lot, kind of odd when you're normally using that as your last resort defense or saving it up. Not too many situations where I think you're going to be melee into a tackle and it be really effective. But we'll see. If you do know some combos that you've used with it like that, let me know. But anyway, moving on to the Ewac Jegan. Also kind of an odd suit. This one definitely, I'm feeling, is a little bit on the lower side of being effective, but I always love the utility. I'm a big fan of the Isaac. I still think it pumps out the damage. However, I don't know if the trade for damage to utility is going to be enough for the Ewac Jegan. Now, you can definitely hunt down raids with this suit by just targeting them and showing everybody where they're at. But is this going to be more of a gimmick than anything? I think that might be the case because you have 2 cameras. One that I'm assuming is a very long mark, which uses 100% and is very long range. That's on one arm. Then you have the other arm, which has 3 shots, like the Isaac, and then you've got the thing on the head. Now, the interesting thing here with its scan system, it seems to do the same thing, but it's a very short range for where it marks, and it is kind of like it uses a bit of a bar kind of thing. So it's kind of like a time down thing as you hold it, from what it seems, or it might just use a bit of it kind of deal. So you essentially have a heat gauge for just using it over and over again. So yeah. Pretty cool with how that works. Surprised that we got that on something else other than a support. Would like to have seen that kind of stay on supports and then do more with that. Overall, though, it does have stats for melee. It can also have the Hyper Bazooka, but other than its little hip missiles, which it seems to be more melee range with having 15, 18, and 8, I believe, for its part slots, you can definitely get the melee damage up. Other than that, though, it does have some decent tank with 24 ballistic and I think 28. Let me go to the screenshot. Defense for melee, or no, it's just 20 for melee. Sorry, 20. And then it has 17,000 health. So a bit on the low side without having a shield, I would say at 550, with something being so bulky and such a big head as a target. Now, the other problem is, unlike most generals, it doesn't have a dodge roll. You are completely relying on maneuver armor in this case, and I feel like that is a big problem, especially when going against, well, raids or anything. At this cost, just having maneuver armor is a little awkward. I mean, you don't really see that too much. Don't know what they're gonna do with that. Do we get double tackle or something? Like, are they gonna give this thing overboost at some point? I mean, none of those things really make sense with what it has, but it just feels like it's traded way too much for having this capability of having a sensor, and you don't have a DPS heavy option for weapons like you do with the Isaac with the machine gun. So we'll have to wait and see what they do with this suit. Right now, I think it's kind of in an awkward spot. We are going to be talking about it on the podcast tonight after this video goes up. We'll be talking about it, and yeah, I'm really curious to see what they think, if any of them got it. I actually was not up for this update, so yeah, there was some cool things that happened that I wish I was up for. But anyway, yeah, overall, I think this is kind of a okay suit, and we're going to be looking for some buffs in the future. As much as I love to praise being able to know where everybody's at as a general, you're kind of wanting to frontline, and you don't want to just be a punching bag that has to just rely at 550 anyway on your typical beam melee combo without it being something significant. For instance, if you were just in a Mark II, you have a little bit less health, but you have a shield and you have more melee damage than this thing. So I don't know if the utility that it brings is worth what it loses as a general suit. The other thing is, too, maybe if we see a combo with multiple generals and no support, this thing could be on a team, but I don't know if there's a meta for that yet, or if that's going to be a thing we're going to actually be seeing. Maybe in 4v4 kind of clan rank stuff, but yeah. Anyway, moving on, we got plenty to cover, though, in this update. Let's see, we got the mass production Cumulative level 2 is in the game. I am definitely going to be rolling for this because they put a banner in for it. And again, you can get the level 1 as well, which is pretty awesome. Definitely pretty hyped to see this thing. Although the Geymalk has replaced it for me, being as much of a powerhouse as it is and not having to worry about getting stunned. This thing, though, still has some burst, and at 700 to see how much more that burst would go up is kind of awesome. Now, sadly, though, I'm probably going to be playing the Dagdoll over this, because I would say the Dagdoll is probably a better version, essentially, with the ability to just buff your funnels, essentially, and do mass damage. Moving on, though, they have a couple of things here that's extra. They're talking about the report function. Pretty much, yeah, keep reporting people that are doing stuff, and don't be somebody who reports falsely and just reports for just no reason. You will also get suspended for that, but you know, they're just reminding everybody again that they're doing that. Also, the Striker Custom. If you were able to play the Striker Custom right after the update, it was completely broken. You could use the punch knuckle as a weapon to attack 3 different times, which is terrifying. Or I guess 2 maybe, I don't know. Is there a side swing for it? I actually never have tried to side swing it. But yeah, you can punch multiple times. So you could just do a punch, knock them to the knee, and then down swing them, and you would pretty much delete any support for sure, which is ridiculous. So I'm glad they had that fixed, but the Striker Custom went from being power creeped to overpowered back to power creeped again. So if you got to try that out and have fun, then yeah, I will say that would have been pretty cool to see that. Just for that day at least. Been awkward to be on the receiving end, but yeah, I would like to have played that suit again. I think it's actually kind of cool to play. I kind of miss it a little bit. Next thing on the list of stuff, they have the automatic equipping of things. So you can go ahead and if you don't know what parts to really put on things, this is really cool for newer players, for people that have been playing for a long time. I mean, whatever. But this is definitely a cool feature for people who don't pay attention to parts or want to really read up on parts. Kind of cool. Other than that, though, we will go over the buffs and nerfs later. But I will say this is a big deal. The Super Gundam and the GBO4 can now be used on the ground. Hallelujah, let's go. This is amazing. 10 out of 10. Can't wait to play these. Other than that, though, they changed the game rules for Brawl, which is also ranked is coming back. I guess I'll go ahead and talk about that now. The ranked is coming back. They're changing how the score goes, and unless I misunderstood this, so I'll kind of have each section here on the screen for a second. Yeah, the rank, I guess you just have higher scores the higher rank you are. And I mean, I'm assuming there's still going to be brackets, but that means if you're lower rank, they had a situation to where people that were low rank were topping the leaderboards. And so these were people making new accounts to do this. So they're getting rid of that essentially by giving a multiplier. So this way, S- will be in like the top 100. So now you need to get higher rank, which definitely kind of makes me want to play ranked more and actually push my rating back up. So that's kind of cool. So I might actually start doing that. At least maybe try to get to A+ sometime soonish. In the meantime of playing Lost Ark and everything else. Also, Elden Ring came out. I need to get on that at some point. But anyway, that's really cool because it was very weird seeing like the top people beat D- players that were pretty much just doing it just to get that extra boost so they could easily top the charts. But anyway, moving on though, fixed the RP. So these are the points accumulated. I actually kind of like this idea. I feel like they need to have a bigger sample size. Now, depending on how many days, I guess 3 works. But before, you would do your day 1 and day 2 kind of thing, and then your top 3 of each got added together for a total. What it seems to be now is, now it's top 3 for the entire event, is the way I'm understanding this. So instead of just having your set of games, now you have your entire pool from the 3 days, and your top 3 is the highest score. That way, if you can't play a day, you're not just completely locked out and you're going to lose. Now, if you can't play a day, you just got to do better on the days you can play, and that should overall be better. And they could actually do this for a week event or something like that. I will say though, just having 3 scores for it might feel a little weird, especially if they extend the time or anything. But I think this is actually a step in the right direction. Both things definitely are improvements. Well done. I really like this. Then the Brawl match thing, which is what it's going to be. So back to that. They changed it so essentially if you're losing as a support, now you get a buff. And depending on the score difference of the first pilot, attack and defense powers supplement up to 50%. And the thing is, what's crazy is this can go past the normal stuff. So I'm curious to know what stacks with what, because they also implemented the thing where you get more defense based on how many raids there are. Well, there are some supports that can get 50% melee defense. So I'm assuming they all stack additively, but that's actually kind of cool. If you're losing horribly and you have that, and they're all raids, there's a chance you could have 50% reduction, and then 50% reduction, and then 50% reduction. But some of these seem to stack additively somehow, especially the power. So I'm wondering if the defense stacks additively. Technically, if there was 11 raids and there was 1 support, could you technically take no melee damage? I mean, I don't... The likeliness of that, and I'm sure they didn't make it do that, but that would be kind of funny. Since the additive offensive damage does seem to be additive stacking rather than multiplicative, which, I mean, multiplicative would be ridiculous, so I'm glad it's not that. But the thing is, you want additive in defense of the same because that's more effective. But anyway, moving on, hopefully the ranked is better, and I'm a support main, so I'll probably be playing support in the next ranked for sure. Material counters, some adjustments have been made to some parts of the supply drop. Whatever that is. Cool. We talked about that. Monthly suits. Okay, let's see. What do we got coming up? Night Seeker Space Type looks like. That is a amazing suit. This is going to be the first one. Or wait, no. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, it is. Okay, I was like, I saw the Shiki. I was like, wait a minute. I'm crazy. But no, the Amuro Ray Shiki is going to be the second segment of the month. And the third is the Pell Rider VG, which is a pretty cool general that I'm starting to like to see more on my team, especially when they end up being kind of raid hunting players. But yeah, pretty cool little lineup there. Back to this though, in the ticket shop we have the Geymalk. Yes, get it. If you didn't get it, hopefully it comes up again. Amazing suit. Get it. It's 10 out of 10 support. After the buff, it is amazing. It is, yeah, it's insane. That is a crazy support at 650. Pretty much, I don't feel there's a reason to not play it with how good it is. Other than that though, other stuff there. Let's see, the Night Seeker 2, level 3, meh. Rigelgu level 3, meh. Mark 5, ooh. Okay, level 1, there you go. If you like the Mark 5 and want to try out a decent raid, there you go. They still haven't added the missiles. That's weird. Can we please do that? We've already had, like the double Zeta get additions. Please add that. Gallus J, level 3. Kind of meh on that though. But you got a decent raid and a really awesome support. Moving on to the DP store. They have a ton of stuff. The double Zeta is now in the DP store. That is awesome. They just buffed it, so really cool to see that in there. I'm assuming it's going to be way high rank. Please do a rank crunch, guys. I know I've said that 100 times, but yeah. Pell Rider Dulahan. Really cool raid. It did get nerfed pretty significantly, but it's still very solid. Can recommend trying that out. Luckily, it is 2-star. Hopefully, not instant or above. G3 Gundam, kind of meh. Zommel, which level is that? I think I've got the 4. I don't know whichever the 700 one is the one I need to get, because I definitely want to try it and meme it. But yeah, we'll see. Let's see. Then they have the Gelgu level 5, Zeong level 3. I don't know if I have that one, but I'm definitely buying it. I love my Zeong all the time. Let's go. Here's the other bug fixes. I'm just going to leave them up. Dagdoll was doing something. Oh yeah, the quadruple mega particle cannon would shoot off in random directions for some reason. I had that issue, and I'm glad that's fixed, or hopefully it's fixed. Most of the time they say that, and they're not actually completely fixed. But anyway, let's see. Touchpad button behavior unnaturally. EX boost, overload, Daikamu amplifier. Oh, capturing a mobile suit. Okay, got it. But yeah, there's the bugs and stuff. Go ahead and take a look at the clan ranked, see what we got. I hope I didn't click on the wrong one. And of course I did. But here we go. Here it is. Okay, so 250, 5v5, ace match, tropical desert. Yeah. Interesting to see an ace match at that low. I'm really curious to see how that goes. Definitely gonna ask some people how that one. Wait, actually, was that this morning? That might have been this morning, actually. So we can actually talk about that during the podcast. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, 250 ace, pretty interesting. Especially in a team setting, I'm really curious to know how many like aggro guys and stuff. There was the pattern. So yeah, next one though we got coming up then would be the 700. So might be getting a cool 700 suit. Is this a 4-star 700 raid coming up? That's going to be my guess. I'm going to go ahead and say it now. Anyway, basic Ruin City 6v6 for that one. And we talked about that. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into the previous month's buffs and nerfs. And we'll kind of just point out cool things. Again, EOS, definitely kind of cool suit. I know a lot of people play it. Haven't really seen it as much after the buff, but really nice to see the numbers actually go up. Thought it was a really solid suit. Anyway, yeah, I was hoping these would actually go up more, but yeah. Sniper 2 White Dingo actually went down across the board. It's one of those things, it might be power creep or something. I honestly thought it felt better, but I mean, the numbers here are really surprising. It'll be cool to see it get another buff probably with these numbers. But yeah, right here they actually Adjustments from moving while using have been made to improve its various. Alright. Was this actually on this? But of course, results are changed due to adjustments, but similar tendencies can be seen regardless of the rank. However, units' battle results change according to each rank level, and even when A- and A+ players are compared, there is win rate change of 8% and above, which leads to different adjustment case than other units. Wait, so are they saying that... Are they... Is this like A- players are doing bad? Is that what they're saying here? And then A+ players are actually winning? Is this another one of those get good situations? That's actually kind of funny. Player can also move while focusing. Beam rifle. Wait, big difference can be seen among different rank levels, partially tied to concern of the one, which is ballistic main weapon, beam rifle enhanced change of use. Okay, so are they saying that people's just using the ballistic and not this, period? Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I wish I kinda could understand this a little bit more from what they're saying here. But yeah, it's gonna be curious. We'll have to talk about this one during the podcast too. Yeah, whatever your thoughts are, anybody comment down below on any of this that I've been like, huh, that's interesting. But that's very interesting. Raid units, cool to see these numbers go up. Definitely better for what it was. Still think it needs a little bit more, but I mean, hey, it's right there at average, so there you go. Gazelle Garu, really cool to see this one get a buff because I thought it was just a worse Gazelle. But yeah, pretty solid, pretty cool. Still a little bit below average, but really nice. Now, the G-Line Assault. Was expecting the numbers to be a little bit higher here. Played it myself a couple of times, feels really good. It's a little bit under... I used to use this suit a lot, so, you know, if they decide to buff it again, I'll take it. But it feels really awesome now. The Vertex. Kind of surprised to see that again in here, but it got a buff. Now it's showing a little bit above average. Definitely feels a lot better. Then we have the support unit. Mainly the damage here was a huge increase. Definitely feels awesome going between the melee for downswing kind of thing. Triple downswing. Support units. Gyogu Cannon. I just kind of saw that it went up, but I'm going to say below average. Let's see. Yes, it's still meh. I mean, it's really cool that you can do a bit more with it. Hopefully the break is definitely a bit better. But yeah, kind of meh on that suit. Type B, definitely cool to see the numbers go up, but still below average just because, I mean, they need to up its speed or something more than anything else, honestly. I know that would be a little weird for it to do that, but come on. Easy 8 weapons rack. Yeah. I mean, it's also a very slow boy on this one, and that change really doesn't do much. It was mainly more for the focus power. Yes, you can go pew pew a little bit more with the 50 extra damage, but that's definitely not enough. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of odd there. I will say, though, I definitely am a fan of the suit. I played a lot more than I was expecting, but I think we're at the point of power creep again with it, so it might need a little bit extra push. But anyway, what do we have this month? The first one, Marasai. So I still think this suit is a lot better than what people give it credit for, but I'll take the buffs because they're also buffing the beam rifle for it, the Fading beam rifle prototype. So the close combat, I think this is... I can't remember if that's the melee. I'm assuming that's melee damage increased by 5%. I was going to say it could be melee defense, but yeah, I'm going to say close combat is melee damage 5% there. That's pretty cool. Rotating. So now it has 25. Rotation went up by 3 to 63. The beam saber increased by 100 damage. That's really nice. And the switching time has been shortened. Cooldown for the Sea Serpent is now 5 seconds. That is amazing. Let's go. Let's keep doing stuff like that for it. I think it's a pretty cool suit. Definitely one that I've been trying to practice with. GM ground type. So low cost raids. Here we go. Curious to know if this was used at all, because I still think the aggro guy is way better. Even a lot of these buffs are really for the level 2. for the rail cannon getting a buff, and a lot of its skills. Other than that, though, it did get speed up to 115. High speed movement went to 185. Rotating went to 51. Skill at level 2, it gained output thruster increase and reacting booster program. And level 3 gained maneuver armor level 2 from level 1. Thruster output increased to level 2 and reacting boosting program level 2. Then we had the rail cannon gaining 100 damage at level 2. Increase continuous hit compensation for the beam saber, so that way you don't get as much of a negative when you do a combo. And then the head Vulcan's range went up by 50, which is kind of nice, and the heat rate went to 40%. Let's see. Then we have the increase the accumulated value of stagger as well. Pretty cool here. Curious to see what this actually does overall, but yeah, kind of nice to see this getting a little love. I will say though, compared to the aggro guy and stuff like that, I feel like this is pretty meh. Then we have the Desert Gelgoog gaining high speed movement by 5, going to 215, rotating going to 63. Movement speed, side and backward increased on the ground as well. A very awesome quality of life to always see that. And then for its beam rifle, going to 50% heat consumption and reduced heat rate when using charged attack as well. Curious to know how much that is, but the Desert Gelgoog definitely needs probably even more love. And also, I'm getting dog aggro. But high mobility Zaku ground type AS, gaining some HP, a lot of HP actually. In fact, 2,000. That's kind of interesting. That's a 350 suit. Overall, yeah, kind of interesting to see that get that much HP. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what the win rate of that does, because it's pretty much right on point for the damage for average. So having some more survivability could be kind of interesting. Other than that, though, the rest of these have their reduced thruster usage, starting high speed movement lowered. So again, we're on the raids here. The GM Spartan BD squad, that's the new clan ranked suit as well. Also the average usage, which they have on here, which is kind of interesting to see, is 0.13%. So yeah, probably due to the fact that not a lot of people have it, and a lot of people aren't really using it. But anyway, overall though, for the win rate and stuff, looking kind of interesting, other than the rival win rate being low. But since it's used less, that's probably why that very low percentage is there. Pixie LA getting that, and the Titania also getting that reduced consumption there of that. But yeah, Shotgun Zaku getting some more health, kind of nice. Let's see. Then we have the RS Jarja and the supports. Okay, so overall, yeah, I thought this needed a little bit more of something. Really cool though with the melee priority 2, and it has some potential with its weapons. They just straight up reload speed 2 seconds for the missiles. That's really nice. And the massive sniper beam rifle reload going to 12 seconds, which is really awesome. And 4-second charge time. That is huge. The weapon switching time has been shortened as well, and the recovery time after using the weapon is a huge quality of life. Can't wait to play this thing again. And yes, thank you for the 1,000 health if I didn't say that. Overall though, definitely can see that it would have less damage, because typically supports are staying back, so you have to get in melee with this thing to really boost up your numbers for damage. If you're not meleeing, you're definitely missing out on what this suit can do. It has huge chunky melees on generals. But yeah, definitely can see it having a way lower win rate, so definitely needs some love. But I have to say, it is a ton of fun to play. The Zaku 2 sniper type from Code Fairy, getting some reload times down to 15 seconds for the sniper rifle itself, and switching time for the rapid fire version of it as the sub weapon. I could definitely see this also having lower stats. I feel like this is going to need a lot more than that, just saying. But yeah, it's a start. Seeing this rival win rate is like big oof. But yeah, it needs a lot more than that. I don't know why they thought that was just enough. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think it needs a whole lot more. Then we already talked about the Super Gundam and the GBO2. Thank goodness they could be on the ground. That is amazing. And the O4 gaining Balancer because it had space specialization, which gave it Balancer. So yeah, awesome. Really cool to see both of these on the ground. Can't wait to see if this shifts the meta for support play. Especially since where these are at their cost. Having a heavy stun, now you have to stop with the Super Gundam. That'll be interesting if they, allow it to move on the ground for it, but we'll see. Overall, though, having a stun with those missiles and how fast it can kill a base might be kind of cool when you are playing something like, let's say what is it, Arctic Base, the new map, anything where you destroy, like, you can just attack the base after acing the enemy team. Could be pretty cool, just saying. Anyway, I love my base cheese, okay? But yeah, really cool to see that on the ground. Let's go. My body is ready. Also really curious to see the GBO4 with how good it is at meleeing on the ground as well. That'll be interesting to see how that does. Other than that, though, I mentioned the Fading Rifle prototype getting a buff. It now has a cooldown of 1.3 seconds instead of 1.5, so you can shoot it faster. Level 2 power has increased. Sadly, that's just at level 2. Cooldown when charging, though, has been lowered, and the cumulative value of stagger for a full charge has been increased as well. Again, this thing does pierce, so remember that it does that. Also, apparently, now it pierces with a normal shot, not just fully charged. So that is amazing. Let's go. I love that weapon. My body is ready. So the Marsai essentially got a buff there with that. Can't wait to see those numbers. And the Night Seeker V, yeah, probably not going to see that used as much. But hey, if they do, I don't know how much of an increase that's going to do just because of the weapon. I think it has some other problems. But anyway, that is the buffs for this one. Looked like a long list, mainly though the thruster thing and the 2 supports going on the ground definitely took up some space there. Overall though, pretty cool. I can't wait to play some of this, hopefully before the podcast tonight. But anyway guys, let me know in the comments down below of what you thought about anything that was talked about. Let's see, yeah, the buffs, nerfs, what do you think of the previous ones? That whole statement on the White Dingo, really interesting. Yeah, anything Ticket Shop? Did you get the Geymalk? Is it awesome? Geymalk got buffed, by the way, a while back now at this point. Love it. But yeah, Double Zeta in the store. Did you manage to buy that if you haven't gotten one? If you didn't get the one that they gave out for free? I just remember they did that too, so that's kind of an oof. And the Ewack Jegan or the GM3 powered full armor. Have you got either of those? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that, guys. But anyway, usual stuff in the description. Twitch, Twitter, Discord. Hopefully, I get a chance to do timestamps on this. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace!